protector. It sits and waits. It is always at the front, waiting for its time to be used. As I walk up, I arrange myself behind it and arrange my papers on it. This is what it is used for, the podium. A deep breath awaits, and I start to speak. I stand behind it, looking out across the sea of people. There's no way that this class is only 25 strong. They are a sea of hungry members, waiting for me to slip. But the podium holds me up, and the podium holds them back. As I plunge into the speech, I can feel myself start to shake. But do not fear. The podium is there to steady me. If I venture to gesture, I can return safely back to it, knowing that the podium is strong like the ox, and not afraid of the wolves of words. I delve deeper and deeper into the speech, watching the clock. Once that green light appears, I can be gone from this hell. The podium will hand me back over to the safety of my seat. But alas, no, the light has not come on. I am stuck here, clinging to the podium for dear life. The last bend of my speech is met. The light turns a glorious green. I am safe. I wrap up my speech and say thank you. I hear the claps roar to life, and I truly know that I am done, that I am safe. But when my next speech arrives, I will always know. To do not fear, the podium is here. Always steady and always there, never leaving you up all bare. If you so choose to venture out, it stands behind you with arms reached out. It will slap away the looks and bash away some fear. For it is not a plane or a bird, it is the podium that's here. So, not really, but that's okay. Yeah. This is how many of us felt when we did our speeches. But just as the podium helped us feel more secure, we gained experience, just as the podium helped us feel more secure, as we gained experience, our experience helped us feel more secure. I know I feel way more confident up here for this speech than I ever did for speech number 1. And it's exciting but sad to think that this is the last speech I'll do in this class. So today I'm going to go over my history in this speech class via my portfolio. I will go over what I've learned, my progress through the class, and some overall thoughts of the class experience. This is my beautiful portfolio. Ooh, pretty. What I've learned is a few things. See, I knew I was going to. Preparation is number 1. I always tried to prepare as soon as I knew a speech was coming up. And the more I did my speeches, the more I learned that, yes, if you don't prepare, you're screwed. And it's really easy to do. That was the thing. I thought it was always so hard, but then I would sit down and start my outlines, and it ended up being really easy and not all that hard. And I know from my second speech with the pressing flowers that timing is very important. I was like 5 seconds from, going over. So yes, practice the timing, always important. And one thing I did learn in this class that I thought was weird at first, and then the more you think about it, the more it sticks in your head, especially since Dr. Phil, you kept saying it every single day to please keep thinking. I heard it every day, and eventually I started thinking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking every day. This is weird. And just to think in general, I found that it kind of organizes your thoughts, and you can organize your life and your days just by thinking. And it was a weird concept, but now it's in my head and I can't get it out. So I'm blaming you, just to let you know. Some of the progresses I did in here. Who can forget my first speech and my dad's face when he has to pay for me to go to school? Not always so happy when he sees that check go out of his bank account. But he knew it was good for me, and he knows that I need to do it so that I can get a good job and a good life and all that good stuff. And it was hard. It was very hard to do these. The first speech was easy though, because it's about my dad, it's someone I know. I'm sure it was all easier for everyone else because it's someone you know. But then you had to go on to your second speech and figure out, oh gosh, what am I going to teach other people? So for me, the second speech was a little bit easier with the flower pressing and leaf pressing because it's something I'm really into. But at the same time, it was hard because I had to sit down and break it down and say, how am I supposed to teach everyone how to do this in like 5 minutes? That's not a very long time. Did everyone's leaves turn out okay? I never ended up asking that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Yep, I still have my little pressing sandwich picture in here. Who can forget the pressing sandwich? Pressing sandwich. my progress has been good. I used, just like the podium poem I did, you know, I didn't not want to venture out at all. And now I'm stepping out a little bit. Just a little bit. Not totally comfortable yet. I know at the very beginning I was really scared of everybody, not as people, but as an audience. Like, they're going to devour me. But it ended up being, which was also a good thing that Dr. Phil had us, you know, bump elbows and say our names every day, because it's more comfortable when I know your names and I know more about you than just some stranger sitting there staring at me while I do my speech. Kind of gets scary, but now I know things about everyone, so it's not as scary. And I don't know, it's just as I went through my speeches, you know, I learned that I could venture away from exactly what I wrote in my outline. At first I was sticking to my outline, but I noticed as my progress went, it was easier for me to improv, like during my Why You Should Hire Me speech. That whole last part of getting you guys involved, completely off the top of my head. That was nowhere in my outline, nowhere at all. But I just kind of started going with it and started getting into it, and I was like, just go for it. And that's another thing I learned was, you know, just go for it. When you're in a speech and you suddenly think of a better way to say something or a better way to explain something, so don't worry about if it doesn't go exactly with the way you originally wrote your speech, just go for it. Because you never know, it might end up being a better speech. My other speeches, what was the next one? Past and present. That was, or past and live community. That was another one where preparation is key, because obviously you couldn't do your speech if you didn't actually go out and, you know, read those old speeches or go out and view live speeches. So it was also a preparation thing where I learned it. It was easy to set up the time. It was easy to set up the time, but it was hard to, like, you know, I've got to get out of bed at 7 in the morning. I really don't want to. But I did it, and I ended up being prepared. I ended up doing a good speech, so that was the whole point, and I'm glad I got there. And as you can see, yes, I'm stepping out. I'll step out a bit more. So that's kind of what I learned in my progress through the class. Some of my overall thoughts is that all of you as students and as people are awesome, very awesome. And I will remember something. I will remember something about all of you, and that's the thing. I don't even remember anybody else from my other classes. You know, from my pharmacy tech class, yeah, it was a small class, and we were with each other for a really long time. But when it comes to just a basic class you have to take, I never remembered anybody. I hardly remember the teachers. So there's one thing that I'm really going to enjoy is the fact that I can see you driving on the road, be like, oh my God, that's Jay. It's crazy. I actually remember who that is. And the fact that we all got along, you know, some classes they snipe at each other, or there's always like that bad blood between 2 or 3 students at the beginning of the class. We all got along. And that was also a weird concept, that instead of ignoring each other, we could actually talk and enjoy each other's company and laugh, and especially at Ben, because Ben always makes us laugh. The biggest thing about this class that was hard was to talk to people. I know it might seem I'm easy to talk to, and it's easy for me to talk to other people. I really, really, really do not like talking to people I don't know. I feel like it's my bubble, and I don't know you, and you shouldn't be in it. So it was really, really hard to get up here and talk, you know, do speeches, and then talk to people personally inside class and outside of class. But I feel a lot better now that I'm doing that, and it's a lot easier, mostly because I know you, but I know that I see it spilling out into regular life now too. I'm able to talk to people a bit more, just a stranger on the street, oh hey, I like your backpack, or whatever, things like that. And the Toastmasters was a lot of fun. I'm really, really considering joining them. I'm not sure when, but now that I'm done with school, I should have more time, so that might be a possibility. So what I've learned, my progress, and some overall thoughts of my class is basically what this portfolio is all about, and what all of your portfolios are about, with, you know, different thoughts that thrown in there and different ideas that you guys each have, because you're all unique. But for me, that was basically what my portfolio was. And what it contains and what it can't contain, it does contain a little bit, but what it also can't contain are the experiences of meeting everyone in this class and having so much fun and getting to know everyone. So my best hope is that I can look back at this portfolio in the future, and by flipping through it, I can once again relive all the good memories that I have of this work.